Good morning. Welcome to the Tuesday, June 18th Board of County Commissioners meeting. We do begin each of our meetings with an invocation, and today we have Pastor Raymond Pettit to lead us. If you would like to join, please do so.
Would you all in your own way bow your heads and let's pray. Most gracious, powerful, present, Holy Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come here today and to be able to serve you, to be able to serve our community, and to be able to give strength to those who are in need. And I pray that you just watch over each decision that's made. You asked us that if there's any that lack wisdom, let us ask of it, Father. So we pray that each thing on the agenda this day would be given the wisdom of our Father. I pray, Heavenly Father, for those that are struggling with PTSD and those that are in our community that have needs, that we find a way to be able to accommodate. Let your presence and your power be with each one of us each day so that we may serve you in whatever capacity you called us to be. Let us be present for your sake. We ask it in your precious name. Amen.
And Commissioner Geithner, would you please lead us in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Pastor. Item number 3.
Item number 3 is staff emergency items, and I'm unaware of any staff emergency items today.
Item number 4.
Item number 4 is changes, postponements, and notice of the next meeting. I'm unaware of any changes or postponements to today's agenda, and the next meeting will be Tuesday, June 25th at 9:00 a.m.
Thank you. And before we move on to item number 5, I do need a motion to excuse Commissioner Williams.
I'll make a motion to excuse Commissioner Williams.
Second.
That has been moved and seconded. I'll call the roll out of order here. Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. Commissioner Williams is excused with a vote of 4-0. Item number 5.
Item number 5 is the consent calendar consisting of items 5A1 through 5C5.
Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on any item on today's consent calendar? Hearing none in the room and none online. Thank you. Questions, comments, and a motion from commissioners?
Madam Chair, if I might, just wanted to point out a couple of the items under procurement contracts, which is just a continuing indicator of the work that El Paso County does to work on infrastructure, roads, and bridges, and so forth. And these are 2 contracts for concrete maintenance, annual concrete maintenance, and they're over. The 2 of them combined together is over $2 million. With that being said, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent calendar items 5A through C5.
Second.
That has been moved and seconded. Any further comments or questions? Okay. I'll call the roll. Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Aye.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Aye.
Commissioner Geithner.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. The consent calendar passes 4-0 with Commissioner Williams excused. Item number 6.
Item number 6 is comments by elected officials and commissioner liaison reports. 6A, election update. Steve Schleicher, Clerk and Recorder.
Clerk Schleicher.
Good morning, Commissioners. Blake, thank you so much for pulling this up. So, Commissioners, we are 1 week from Election Day, and I just want to go ahead and give you an update as to where we are as of this morning. So as I've shared is total ballots that have been mailed out to our voters for this primary election is 450,620. We are just shy of 10% voter turnout. I am anticipating over 150,000 ballots being cast from today leading up to Election Day. So as I have shared many times is our unaffiliated voters here in the state of Colorado, they of course, participate in our primary where they get a Democratic ballot and they also get a Republican ballot. However, they can only vote 1 ballot. Sadly, already for this election, we've already had 200 voters that have voted both ballots and their vote does not count. And they do not have an opportunity to come on in and cure that ballot. Yesterday, we went ahead and opened up 4 additional VSPCs. So as of now, we have 6, and we're going to be opening up 3 additional VSPCs Monday for the 24th and 25th. And as you see there, the locations and the hours, you can also find this information on my website. It's also on the information sheet that is contained within your ballot. So if voters want to sit there and have a replacement ballot, yesterday was the deadline to call our office to have a ballot mailed to you, a replacement ballot. And the reason for that is because the time it takes for the USPS to get that ballot to that voter. The other thing is I recommend do not use the USPS system when casting your ballot now, because it has to be received in my office by 7 p.m. on election day, and postmarks are not accepted. So I recommend using one of our ballot drop boxes throughout the community, and or bring it into our office, or visit one of the VSPC centers where you could drop it in that ballot box as well. So here are the statistics as of yesterday. Is we have received 38,084 ballots. 8,042 Democrats have participated in their primary thus far. 17,853 Republicans have cast their ballots. 12,189 unaffiliated. As always, I just sit there and just break it down, giving you some graphs here of how the turnout is going by each day. In our VSPC in-person ballots, as of yesterday morning, we had a total of 22 voters who have come in and utilized in-person voting. That number is probably going to double. We had over 12 at Citizen Service Center yesterday, so we're still compiling those reports, so I will be reporting that to you as well. Undeliverable ballots, I know this is something that is of concern to you and also myself, is total active 5,786, and then voided is 2,710. So what we look at is what does it mean when a ballot is voided? So if we get it back undeliverable, we reach out to that voter. So those are individuals that have come in and they have corrected their voter roll and have cast a ballot. So we are now at 1.28% for the entire county as undeliverable. So we have dramatically come down from the 2023 coordinated. So those, if you remember the numbers, we had 38,000 undeliverable ballots in 2023 coordinated. The last election, March 5th presidential, we were just at 10,000, and right now we're at 5,786. So I feel here we are going in the right direction. I also shared with Commissioner Geithner that I was going to go ahead and now provide mail delivery performance by zip code. So I went ahead and did a complete audit. My staff and I pulled these figures from our MAR system and also from USPS. And as you can see here, total mailed 450,620 ballots. Total delivered 449,403. So we are at 99.73% delivered to the voters here in El Paso County. Still work to do, but I think our numbers are greatly improving. The relationships being built with the USPS and meeting with them weekly. So things are moving in the right direction on that. So let's talk about some do's and don'ts. Do. Here in the state of Colorado, we have same-day voter registration, so if anybody wants to participate in this election, is they can go to one of our VSPCs here in the community, and they can register to vote. If there are any questions, if a voter's like, how do I get a replacement ballot? How do I cast my ballot? Just any general questions whatsoever, is they can call my office at 719-575-VOTE, which is 8683. We have judges manning the phone, so you're talking to a real person, and they will be able to assist you. In addition to that, is if you want to talk to me directly, I always give out my cell phone number, which is 719-502-1534. The other thing is, do know the election deadlines. The major deadline that's coming up, of course, June 25th, we have to have all ballots cast and in the drop boxes or in our office or the VSPC location by 7 p.m. on election night, and again, postmarks are not accepted. Also, use your instruction page as your ballot secrecy sleeve. That's something we started here in El Paso County for this election to add a little bit of secrecy to that. So I do see voters, they are using that as we're processing the ballots. Don't. As I have already shared, if you're an unaffiliated voter, please vote one ballot. Don't ignore the signature requirements. If you do not sign your affidavit, my staff will reach out to you to have you come on in and to correct the signature or to sign. And what happens is if you do not come in to cure your ballot, that is information that gets turned over to the district attorney to be investigated. As of yesterday, as I shared, do not mail your ballot. So that deadline, to ensure your ballot is received by 7 p.m. on June 25th is drop it off at a secure, 24/7 ballot box at a VSPC center or at my office at 1675 West Garden of the Gods. So, got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be extremely busy this next week, and hopefully some of this information you look as good news as well as I do. So are there any questions?
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So great update. On the slide before, I think it was this last slide. So it would be interesting after the elections and you start counting, I'd actually be interested on the signature requirements. How many get cured by the people? They get notified, say it's 100, and then you end up getting 20 cured or 50. And why I'm asking is because, I went through the election where it was so close. It did go to a recount. My opponent paid for that. But it was interesting to note that most of the people we were knocking on doors to try to validate and get some cure votes, almost all of them had no idea they had messed up the signatures, because although everybody's expecting to see their ballot come in the mail, nobody expects a follow-up county letter saying you did not do this properly, your vote will not count unless you do it. And everybody had this letter sitting on their counter, literally not opened, not realizing that it was a voter issue. And even if they had gotten to it, may have missed the deadline. I think it's 8 days to cure or something. But I was just interested to see how many end up being cured afterwards, because it was very interesting to note that almost nobody knew that they had messed up.
Commissioner, that is a really good point and also question in regards to how many voters come in and actually cure their signature. Going into my third election as a new clerk and recorder, is that percentage is pretty high, which I am really, really glad to see, because what we end up doing is not only do we send a letter to the voter, but if we actually have an email address on file in their voter record, we will send them an email as well saying, hey, please come on in. I think also the communication, where a lot of folks did not know, is if you don't come in, that this information is turned over to the district attorney to be investigated for possible voter fraud. I think that getting the word out there where folks are like, oh, I better go in and and cure my ballot, get everything taken care of. But that percentage is really, really high, and I'm glad that you asked that question.
Follow up.
Thank you. I really appreciate those questions. Can you describe what that looks like when it comes to someone's house? They know what they are looking for. What kind of envelope does it come in? How will they know that that's what they are receiving in the mail?
Absolutely, Commissioner. So it's actually coming in an envelope from the county clerk and recorder, Steve Schleicher. They will sit there. There is a big thing. It says, basically for voter information. So it's all right there on the envelope showing the importance of it. And, folks will sit there, like I said, they'll get a letter, and they will also get a follow-up email if we do have an email address on record. But it's in a regular envelope, says Steve Schleicher, and say, please come on in. And to cure the ballot is they actually have 8 days after the election to come on in and cure. So they have that time where they can come on in. But what I have seen is as soon as the letters are sent out, because by state law, is once that ballot is processed and we identify a signature discrepancy, we have to date and mail those letters the same day the ballot was received. So we send that information out, for that timing. But I have seen a high percentage of people that will come on in, they show their ID, this is who I am, and they go ahead and fix their signature. I will say we're probably doing a couple hundred letters a night. And the reason for that is because there are times where, as we get older, our signature degrades, things like that. But if our bipartisan judges can't match up 3 points of reference on that certain signature, is we will reach out to that voter to come on in and things like that. So, but it's an actual official letter, Commissioner.
And does that show up through ballot tracks as well?
It does.
Okay.
So absolutely. I get calls and I get texts, Steve, I went ahead and cast my ballot, but I have not received anything from ballot tracks as of yet saying you counted it. And the reason why is because we're in the middle of that cure period.
Okay. So they can keep an eye on those emails from ballot tracks as well, and they'll be notified through that.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Vanderwerf.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, we're down to the home stretch here, aren't we?
Absolutely, Commissioner.
And I think it's so important. I know my colleagues feel exactly the same, but please, everybody, get out and vote. It's your right. Exercise your right. It's part of what makes this country great. I do have a couple of questions. I am remain surprised at the really small number of people that come in and personally vote. That kind of suggests to me that perhaps the clerk and recorder's office has done a good enough job that everybody in the community in El Paso County actually trusts the ballot boxes and trusts these alternative ways of voting, because only 22 votes out of so many votes right now. I know it'll go up, like you said, and there'll be a lot of in-day personal voting on Tuesday, but it's pretty amazing how small that number is. I would be interested, I've got a couple of questions for you, and this is just kind of getting it on the public record to make sure everybody knows, but what kind of security do we have with the ballot boxes, and how often are the ballots picked up with the operations you have ongoing now?
Commissioner, really good question. One of the things that I changed when I first became clerk and recorder was the camera system here in El Paso County, where now I no longer need to have power. So if I want to install a ballot box, out east where all the growth is happening, is historically we had to find a place that provided power, and we no longer have that requirement because we have solar cameras. The other thing is now we are streaming all 39 cameras to every citizen here in El Paso County. That was a huge push, because historically for every election, we would have citizens that will actually submit a core request, and they wanted all of the footage during an entire election for all 39 ballot drop boxes to review that footage. It was very time consuming. In addition, as you're talking a lot of terabyte hard drives, because that's a lot of video, and it costs the office, staff time, everything, thousands of dollars. With you all assisting and agreeing with me and helping me install that camera system, is we have received 0 core requests since we installed those cameras for the 2023 coordinated election, which is great not only for my office, not only for the county attorney's office, but also for the citizens. I absolutely get compliments quite a bit on the camera system. In fact, there's actually counties that are piggybacking off of El Paso County right now, one of which is Pueblo, Douglas County. Boulder is now looking into the same system that we have here in El Paso County. But the security system with the camera system, in addition, is they're secure, they're locked, and we also have ballot bipartisan teams out there that are going around and emptying those drop boxes twice, 3 times daily as we are leading up to Election Day. One thing that I also did change is during the 2022 primary, I was at an election night party, and as I was running for clerk and recorder. And one of the citizens walked up to me and said, "You're running for clerk and recorder. What are you going to do about this?" And I had no idea what he was talking about, and he showed me a picture of a vehicle that had Nebraska license plates, and they were emptying the ballot drop box. And the reason why I had Nebraska license plates is because of rental vehicles. We have to have so many vehicles. We go through Enterprise, Hertz, things like that. So what I ended up doing, and thankfully, is our fleet department, as awesome as they are, we now decal every vehicle we lease and rent, where it basically highlights El Paso County elections, things like that, so nobody has any questions and the optics are no longer there. So I appreciate everything they've done. But Simply put, Commissioner, is we have people on those boxes. You will see them on there the 24th. You will see there on the 25th, assisting voters to put their ballots in the drop box, but they'll be out there all day long.
Great. And a couple of other questions. The next one is, I believe you still have a website that allows citizens, after the voting is completed and after you've reconciled the votes, they can actually physically look at a photograph of the ballot that you've redacted if there's any personal information on it, and they can actually then compare a vote tally presented by your office with the actual ballots and do any level of verification they want at any level, maybe just a precinct, maybe an entire division or something, or also maybe countywide if they've got a lot of time. So how is that program still ongoing?
So, Commissioner, absolutely. We put every ballot image out online, where if anybody wanted to audit a particular race or the whole entire election, and that was one of the premises of launching EPC VIP, the new website that I put out there, because my vision is if somebody wants to sit there and look at a particular precinct, they can go to the website, find out how many votes were cast by registered Republicans, Democrats, unaffiliated, or minor party, and match that, because what I want to do is on the ballot images is to be able to have a sort where you could actually sort it by precinct and be able to look at that data and make sure those numbers match with what's being put out there on the website. So it's a great audit tool. I feel that it's going to be enhanced. We're looking into the future, and that's something we're working on today, but systematically we've been doing the ballot box cameras. I've updated all of the equipment in the office. One thing I will share with you is here in El Paso County is our tabulation machines, there is no Wi-Fi. There is no network interface card. There is no ISP. There is no modem. And I do get into conversations in regards to what about the ports? What about thumb drives, jump drives? They all have port locks. You can't get into any of the ports. And then we also basically lock them in a secure cage, so every central processing unit is locked in a secure cage, and you have zero access to that machinery. So those are things that I've been giving folks tours, show them what's going on, what we've done here in El Paso County for election integrity and security. And I think my team has done an amazing job over the last 18 months to prep for this November election.
Great, outstanding. And one last question, and I appreciate that it was mentioned before, ballot tracks. This is something that any citizen can sign up for. It gives them a lot of insight into the status of the ballot that they've submitted. But just say a few words about ballot tracks and why it's important for a citizen to sign up for that.
Absolutely. So, Commissioner, you can go out on the Secretary of State's website, sign up for it, or you can go onto my website, sign up for it. But what Ballot Tracks does for you is as soon as you go ahead and cast your ballot, you're going to get notification. You're also going to be notified when your ballot is processed, and you're going to get notified when your ballot is counted. So the whole entire process of the life of a ballot, you're getting updates through Ballot Tracks of where your ballot is at. And that just basically piggybacks off of Commissioner Geithner's comments of, hey, how does someone know if their ballot wasn't counted and they need to cure? Part of that is through Ballot Tracks. It is a really, really good system to keep you in the loop and knowing what is going on through the whole entire life cycle of your ballot.
Great, thank you very much.
Absolutely, thanks, Commissioner.
Thank you. Any further questions or comments? Thank you very much. It's wonderful to walk back in this building and see one of those centers right here with those wonderful volunteers and election workers. Thank you.
Absolutely. I will see you all next week on Election Day. Have a great week, Commissioners.
Thank you. Are there any other countywide elected officials in the room or online? Okay. With that, we'll begin with you today, Commissioner.
Very good. Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a couple of meeting announcements for me. Later on today, 4 p.m., I'll be participating in the Colorado Springs Public Art Commission meeting, which takes place monthly. And then on Thursday, I'll be participating in the State Board of Health meeting. Now, that normally would be held on Wednesday, but they chose, because of Juneteenth, to hold this on Thursday this month. So this will be Thursday, starting at 10 a.m. up in Denver. I'll be up there. Then I do plan on also going to the Pikes Peak Hill Climb VIP reception Thursday evening at 5 p.m. Really looking forward to that. And then I believe on Friday, the 21st, there's an Attainable Housing Forum at El Pomar that I plan on going to as well. And then Monday, the 24th, participating in the Retirement Board meeting. And then at 1 o'clock on the 24th, the Workforce Consortium Board. And then we'll be back to our next board meeting on Tuesday, the 25th. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Several things. So this afternoon, I will be attending Colorado Center Metro District Building naming dedication on behalf of Joan Treese, who passed away last year. She's a friend of, I think, most of us here, a longtime advocate for the community, and a longtime Metro District member for them. So I'll go to that this afternoon. I believe it's at 3 p.m. down there at their fire station. Also tonight, I'm going to attend the Philharmonic Guild reception to welcome their new Guild board members, which, scary maybe for our community. I will be one of those newly minted board members for the Philharmonic Guild. And then Thursday, also in the morning, the Western Street Breakfast, and then also attending the Pikes Peak Hill Climb reception that afternoon or the evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Geithner.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Also a busy week for me. I have community corrections tomorrow, as well as the library board and fair advisory board meetings. We also have the street breakfast. And I want to do a shout out and huge thanks to our Parks Department for the fantastic event over the weekend, Kite Fest at Falcon Regional Park. It was a fantastic and beautiful event. I did not get the final count, so I'll have to ask our executive director of parks to share that number with me, but I know that I was there for the first couple of hours, and about the halfway point, we had about 850 participants. So quite a turnout and increased turnout from our first couple of years, and I think it's great that the community is coming out and enjoying that. It was wonderful to see families with young kids, especially on Father's Day weekend, coming out, enjoying that. The vendors did a fantastic job of having other free activities. Ironically, it was probably the one day that there wasn't a huge amount of wind in Falcon, but it did come and go, and whenever those windy periods blew up, you could certainly see all the kites in the sky, and it was truly fantastic. But in those lulls of the wind, there were also lots of vendors with free activities for kids to keep them busy. So it was truly a fantastic event. Super grateful to Parks for all their hard work on that. As I said, our vendors, in particularly Ryan with the Parks Department, was instrumental in making sure that all went off properly. So super big thanks to him as well. And then the last thing I want to mention is more of a federal issue, but I have been following the changes to Title IX for some time, which I know probably many people have, and the court challenges specifically around Title IX. Initially, that was blocked in several states. I think the total that I'm seeing up to is it's been blocked in at least 10 states, and I continue to look forward to seeing this move its way through the courts. I think a lot of people are watching this very closely who are concerned about the impact, particularly on women's sports, and making sure that there is a fair ability for women to continue to be able to have access and participate in competition in sports. So just wanted to mention that that's being blocked now in quite a few states, and I look forward to seeing the results of how we handle that. It is a very important issue. Thank you.
Well said, Commissioner. I also have a very busy week, but I'm going to back up a little bit to yesterday. We had a great meeting with our Citizens Outreach Group. Commissioner Geithner and I both serve as the liaisons to that, and it's made up of people that help us get county news, county education, county events out there, and they become our connection to make sure we understand what's going on. We can't be everywhere all at once, and they are a bit of our extenders, but they are working hard to put together a Citizens College. Stay tuned on dates and times and specifics on that, but we do expect that to be a very thorough thing that will happen again this year in the fall. And they are doing that completely on a volunteer basis. So it's a whole lot of work. Wanted to thank them. I have 3 constituent meetings tomorrow. Then, of course, many things that have been mentioned here, the pancake breakfast, bright and early. I believe Commissioner Vanderwerf will be providing the 5 a.m. welcome speech. Thanks for taking that one for us. We'll see you a bit later.
Thank goodness it's at 6:10 a.m. instead of 5 a.m.
And then we also, we try to spend these summer months making sure that our 2,882 El Paso County employees are appreciated. And so we will have some appreciation events, and then Pikes Peak Hill Climb reception. I will also be attending that evening a Special Kids, Special Families 25th anniversary celebration at Zach's Place. They do a lot of work with our Human Services Department. And then I will be on a NACO call that will be preparing me to moderate and lead a panel on providing human service delivery during emergencies and natural disasters at NACO, and that is later in July. With that, any other comments, redos? Okay. Excellent. Item number 7.
Item number 7 is community service organization reports, and there are none.
Item number 8.
Item number 8 is public comment on items not scheduled on the agenda. This is the public's opportunity to speak on an item that is not scheduled on today's agenda. And Madam Chair, I didn't have anyone sign in ahead of time to speak.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak on any item not on today's agenda? None in the room? Please come forward and introduce yourself, and your 3 minutes will be in.
Good morning, Commissioners. Just want to say that I appreciate the report that we got from our Clerk and Recorder's Office. I am getting a lot of calls from candidates who, not from candidates, from voters who have received the 2 ballots, and they are still confused about that. So just want to thank you for that clarification, but there's still a lot of confusion out there, so just wanted him to know that. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you introduce yourself for the record? Thank you.
Deetra Duncan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Are there any members of the public online? Okay, thank you. Item number 9.
Item number 9 is the called up consent calendar, and there are no items called up.
Item 10.
Item number 10 is department and committee reports, non-action items. 10A, El Paso County Fair presentation on Shauna Aljetz, Fair and Events Center Program Supervisor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thanks again for inviting us out to tell you about this year's fair. I know Teresa's name is on the schedule. She is out ill, so apologies for that. But we are super excited to come share with you our plans for 2024. It's epic out here. Hopefully you've already seen lots of social media and graphics and print ads. And as we move into the next few weeks, the commercials and the radio commercials will start. So billboards, all those things. So we are super excited. Sorry, I'm so used to this already being, there we are. Sorry, I clicked right through that. Oh, but I'm not sharing. Like he'll do his magic. There's something I need to do? Okay. Does it not go up on the big screen? No? Yep, thank you. All right, here we are. It's our fair logo, and we are so excited. We are very close to fair season. I admit I didn't look up the countdown this morning, but it has to be in the mid to high 20s, so I think we're 27, 28 days or so. It's epic out here. This is our logo, and we have added a lot of things and improved a lot of things to continue to grow an epic fair out in eastern El Paso County. As you guys know, the El Paso County Fair is a timeless celebration of the county's history and heritage. The fair is an opportunity to celebrate community and achievements of El Paso County youth. You guys have seen this list before, but it is our usual kind of keys to success: long-term planning, supportive sponsors, effective marketing, great 4-H program, major evening entertainment, daily entertainment, contests and shows, dedicated and passionate volunteers and staff, a variety of vendors and carnival activities, and the one we can never control but always pray for is the good weather. Someday, maybe we'll figure out how to control that too. New for 2024, and this really is a highlight for 2024. There are so many new things this year. In building an epic fair plan, we really wanted to fill the days, and especially the midweek days. So a primary focus has been, how do we get people to come back to the fair and visit the fair during those weekdays? All of our programming will have at least one show after work hours, so coming out after work is still a good use of time, and you can still get to experience the whole fair. And then we've added so many fun things. So the first one on the list is really near and dear to my heart, or at least has become that. We're adding Sensory Day this year. That is not a world that I am super familiar with. I've been blessed, and that's not a major challenge in my life. But I'm becoming more and more aware of how big that is for a lot of families. And so on Tuesday, July 16th, it is our senior day. It is generally a quieter day on the grounds. We've partnered with Autism Society of Colorado to offer sensory hours. So 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, July 16th, there will be a sensory area in our Whittemore building run by the Autism Society of Colorado. Our carnival will run for 2 additional hours that day without sounds and music. So we'll still have the mechanical sounds, but we will eliminate the extra stimuli. All of our shows will run the same show. We want people to have the experience, but we'll tone down where they can, whether that's one entertainer at a time, or turning down the volume, or minimizing some lights. And we will have extra staff and volunteers all over the fairgrounds to assist families as they navigate that day. And a really amazing thing, and it's on our website, is our sensory book. We worked really hard with Autism Society of Colorado to create a sensory book. It's a full handout of what to expect at the fair, and it's loaded up with information for each show, each area, each building, what kind of stimulus might be there. And then it's got some icons, so this might be a messy space or a shared space or a loud space, so that families can make the best decisions for their families. We can't remove all stimulus in a county fair. It is just a noisy, loud environment, but we can give families the tools to maybe come and enjoy the fair and participate in what is the largest county celebration that previously they may not have been comfortable into attending that environment. So we're really excited about it. And again, the sensory space in Whittemore will be for that timeout. I just need to go reset, and then I can re-enter. So if you get a chance to come out that Tuesday morning, and certainly if you know people in the community that struggle with those kinds of challenges for their families, that will be a great day for them to come experience the fair. And that's only the first of many exciting new things we've added this year. In our fair zone this year, we'll have a petting zoo. Kyle and Farley are our mini Highlander and our alpaca. If you've seen their commercials, well, their graphics on social media, they will be live and on person in our petting zoo. I believe next week we're animating Kyle and Farley, so you'll see some cartoons online. But they've really started speaking for our fair, and we're super excited to use them. Last year, I added evening concerts every night of fair. This year, we upped that again and added afternoon concerts every day of fair. So 2:15 every day and 7, most evenings, 7 p.m. There's a few schedule adjustments on that. The nature centers will be out with us 6 full days of fair, so we're excited to have them also showing what they offer and offering some interactive displays. Our Cowboy Fast Draw experience will be out with us on the weekends, doing some demonstrations and some education, but also giving people a chance to experience that, and our free weeknight events. So again, that focus on those evenings that are generally a little bit slower midweek. Tuesday night is our Epic Eras party. This one's been fun to talk about. We are going with all things country music themed with our favorite person of the year. You may see a lot of 13s and 22s around. It's an epic era night. And if that means something to you, great. And if it doesn't, you should come out and see what that means. But there are, it's a whole themed party, and we're super excited. Thursday night, Silent Goat Disco. if you haven't seen this yet, silent disco is essentially when people put on headphones and dance in a room to 3 different channels of music. So you have 3 different music styles playing and people dancing and singing along, and it's chaotic and fun on its own. And then we're a fair, so why would we not add goats? And because we can. So we're bringing in, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 20 goats. We've yet to determine the exact number. They will be in a corral in the middle of the room. You'll have an opportunity to dance with the goats during your evening experience. It is free with fair admission. We do recommend pre-registration. There's a limited number, but we can do about 200 people in that room, so we're super excited. That'll be in Whittemore. And we're very excited about that event. It's going to be a lot of fun. And in the grandstands, on Wednesday and Thursday evening, we're adding free grandstand events. So we do ticket events on the weekends. Generally speaking, during the week, that space is a little bit emptier. So this year, we're bringing in youth bull riding on Thursday night. So ages, I think it says 2 to 16. I don't know what a 2-year-old bull riding looks like, but I'm excited to find out. And a rough stock event featuring broncs and bulls on Wednesday night. Those will be free with fair admission, but just another opportunity for our community to gather and enjoy the fair and all that we are trying to bring. As I said, this is the highlight list. The days are full. We are super excited. Our daily entertainment. We have a high diving pirate show that will be up on Whittemore Hill. It's kind of a comedy stunt show. The pool's 10 feet deep. The ladder's 30 feet tall. Well, it's a pirate ship that goes 30 feet tall. It will be an epic adventure. The lumberjack show will be outside of Swink Hall. The usual log rolling and chain cutting and all those things. And then our fire stage show is a dancing, fire spinning type of show with 3 local performers from Denver. We reached out through some local resources, and we're super excited. We kind of have water, land, and fire covered here, so our epic fair is all encompassing. Oh, I lost my mouse. There it is. Ticketed events. Auto races on opening Saturday and Monday night. We did that last year for the first time, and that worked great. CPRA Rodeo on Sunday was a very successful event last year. I highly encourage you to come see it. Our Demolition Derby on Saturday is on track, as always, to sell out. So we are hoping for large crowds that night. And then we changed up Friday night. We are bringing in a mobile stage into the outdoor arena. There'll be arena tickets for the floor and then grandstand seating tickets for our double feature arena concert. 2 full-length, hour-and-a-half-long concerts featuring 2 very talented women, Jessica Lynn and Michelle Lambert. Very country, pop, Celtic kind of blend. They're pretty talented women, and if you get a chance, I highly recommend you go check out some of their videos, but we're really excited to have them with us Friday night. And I think these are also numbers that you are familiar with seeing from us over the years. Our attendance goal, which we have exceeded the last few years, but is 25,000. Sponsorship goal is 80,000. And just to give credit, where is she? There she is. Dana Nordstrom just told us the other day that we are officially at 112,500 for sponsorship. So we are well over that goal. For total revenue, goal is 250,000. That breaks down into gated admission at 110, sponsorship at 80, vendors at 35. I think as of today, that number is actually at 48. So we've also expanded our vendor offerings and how we can bring in more, and our carnival. So in the 2 things that we can do before fair, we are already well above goal, and we hope to continue to do that. Our resources, as always, our county staff, parks, and communications staff are working together to kind of initiate all of our marketing initiatives. Our fair queen, which you will hear from in a moment, has been an amazing and continues to be an amazing partner for us in this. All of our partners and all of our volunteers. So we utilize so much. Our Silent Goat Disco is happening in partnership with a local company that will bring us the materials that we need to pull that off. We have marketing partners that have put up our flyers and our banners and our menus and our activity sheets, which I think are on the next page. And of course, our volunteers. We have an amazing crew of volunteers. I think last year we clocked more than, I'm gonna get the number wrong, more than 1,000, it might have been more than 2,000 volunteer hours associated directly with FAIR. So there's a lot that goes into making that happen. Our Fair Queen program, Maddie Norton is our 2024 Fair Queen. She will come up in a little bit, but she has been busy. She's been out a lot in person. She's been active on social media. She's got her autograph sheets, and she's got a little mini flyer she carries around and hands out at Will for Fair. And so we really appreciate what she does for us in helping get the word out. This is our new version of the activity pages. You know, we introduced these a couple years ago. I think last year we distributed about 3,000 of them, hoping to grow that number this year. But restaurants primarily on the east side of the Springs and then Falcon. We'll continue to work our way in, but it's definitely a growing program. Kyle and Farley, I mentioned earlier. They are very cute. They might have become our happy place, creating those each week for our posts. But they've been great, and as I said, we're gonna animate them now, so hopefully you'll see them soon. There's so much talent in the marketing team and what they're able to do. Electronic newsletters, partnerships, posters, social media, radio, television, newspaper. Those are our constant streams. Last year we added billboards. They were both static billboards. This year we're doing both of those billboards again and adding a digital billboard at Woodman and Mark Shuffle, I believe. So we're really excited to see what that looks like when it comes to life. Heavily trafficked thoroughfares on 24 and Woodman. So, and then we're going into movie theaters this year. So in the little pre-movie commercial time, hopefully you'll see our fair. And we're excited to explore that market and see what kind of exposure we get out of that. So we want to, as always, thank our sponsors. It is impossible to do this without them. I don't even know if this has our latest one. We added one very last minute last week. Tallgrass Energy. So this year we added a new platinum and 2 new gold along a lot of in-kind and lower tiered sponsors. And so we are super excited. These people make what we do happen. And so we're very grateful for them. And with all of that, and it's a lot, I'm going to introduce our Fair Queen, and then I'll come back up for questions. But Maddie Norton, our 2024, oh, I'm sorry, Kate. Kate, our Fair Board Chair and Queen Committee Liaison, Kate Johnson and Maddie Norton. Thank you.
No, you're fine. Good morning, commissioners. As she said, my name's Kate Johnson. I'm the coordinator for the El Paso County Fair Queen program. I'm also honored to serve as the chair for the Fair Advisory Board this year. I grew up going to the fair. I was an avid 4-H'er and love all it stands for. So with that, I'll introduce our Fair Queen. Maddie Norton is the 17-year-old daughter of Kristen and Jeff Norton of Colorado Springs. She's a recent graduate of Lewis Palmer High School. Maddie has participated in cheerleading, Interscholastic Equestrian Association, reining, breakaway roping, and was a member of the Pikes Peak Rangerettes drill team. In the future, Maddie wants to get a degree in marketing and graphic design from the University of Wyoming while competing on their rodeo team. Maddie is excited to promote the Western lifestyle in the 2024 El Paso County Fair.
Picture this. 4 years ago, I'm sitting, anxiously waiting for a carnival ride to start, next to my sister's friend who looked like he's about to be sick. Although we had never met, by the end of the ride, I had just made a brand new friend who I'm still close with to this day. Thinking back, that awkward moment stands out as epic. And where did all of this happen, you may ask? Yep, you guessed it, the El Paso County Fair. That's one of the many reasons why this fair is so important to me. I'm Maddie Norton, your 2024 El Paso County Fair Queen. And not only does the fair bring friends and families together, but also incorporates 3 of my biggest passions: rodeo, community service, and supporting our military and first responders. And in our 119th year, it's epic out here. You won't want to miss out on all this year's El Paso County Fair has to offer, July 13th through the 20th in Calhan. Enjoy auto races, a demolition derby, concerts, 4-H and FFA projects, rodeo action, shopping and eating at many amazing vendors, and much more. Our daily entertainment, free with admission, includes Paul Bunyan's Lumberjack Show, a pirate-themed high dive show, fire dancers, and much more. You can always count on hearing great music at the fair. So grab your 13 best friends and get ready to trade friendship bracelets at our Epic Eras Party Tuesday night, celebrating our favorite person of the year. Thursday, you can dance with goats at our Silent Goat Disco, or watch the Junior Bull Riding. If you're looking for live music, our lineup includes Curtis Grimes on our opening night, the Jeffrey Allen Band on Sunday night, the Jazz Masters Swing Band on Tuesday, the Jason Wolf Band on Thursday, Ashley and the Long Shot Revival on Friday night, and fan favorite Exit West to close out our week. Each day of the week brings new epic admission deals and themes, starting with Saturday, July 13th, Military Appreciation Day, where military and their dependents get free admission. Sunday, July 14th, will be Western Heritage Day, where you can catch top CPRA rodeo action. Monday, July 15th, is El Paso County Day, with free admission for all. Tuesday, July 16th, is Senior Day, with $3 admission, a free breakfast at 11, and a free slice of pie at 3 for everyone 55 years and older. Wednesday, July 17th, is Dollar Day, where general admission is only $1. Thursday, July 18th, is Agriculture Day, with $4 admission and $4 deals throughout the fair. Friday, July 19th, is Fair Fun Day, where you can find loads of epic activities, including a grandstand concert. And wrapping up the week, Saturday, July 20th, is First Responders Day, featuring a junior livestock sale and a demolition derby. The Western roots of our fair run deep, and by teaching our Western traditions to the younger generations, the spirit and legacy of the El Paso County Fair live on. Think back to summers past. The smell of kettle corn, the roar of a crowd, an awkward moment on a carnival ride, moments that were epic. Be sure to find your friends, Kyle the Alpaca, Farley the Highlander, and me, your El Paso County Fair Queen, at the 119th El Paso County Fair, presented by Ed Green Construction, July 13th through the 20th in Calhoun, Colorado. Visit elpasocountyfair.com for more information and to purchase tickets. See you there. Any questions?
Thank you, Maddie. Any questions?
Thank
Excellent.
you.
I love the personal story at the beginning and the end. Beautiful. Any further questions for staff? Okay.
In a world where epic experiences await at every turn, prepare to be blown away. Join us for the 2024 El Paso County Fair, presented by Ed Green Construction, July 13th to 20th in Calhoun. Witness daring pirate high dives, awe-inspiring lumberjacks, and mesmerizing fire dancers. Feel the excitement at the CPRA Rodeo, auto races, concert, and demolition derby. The 2024 El Paso County Fair. It's epic out here.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm so excited. Looks like a lot of great work by a lot of people.
Yes, we are very excited too. Any questions? Great. Just a reminder, VIP opening Saturday. Hopefully you have your invitations already, but we would very much like to see you there.
Thank you.
Oh, yes, and can we do a picture, please?
Sure, we will wrap up the meeting and do a quick picture. Are there any further items for item number 10? Item 11?
Item number 11 is the addendum, and there are no addendums today.
Item 12?
Item 12 is the executive session, and there is no request for executive session.
We are adjourned.